Prince Harry is facing so much backlash from the Invictus Games that Meghan Markle may have just been fired from them. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. If you missed our live over on Popcorn Palace, Steph and I were there and we broke down all the lies of Heart of Invictus, Prince Harry's new show. And there are some doozies in there, Steph. Thank you for the breakdown. Hopefully you guys caught it. But here we are on our follow-up video, and we wanted to show you this update. Again, now, Steph, this is speculative, right? We are still waiting to see if this proves true, but the backlash is real. That's undeniable. There's a lot of backlash. Veterans, people who knew Harry coming out of the woodwork saying they do not agree with the things he's saying. It's caused backlash for sure. But what we know is that Harry and Meghan were supposedly ready to appear at the closing ceremony of the Invictus Games, which is I guess in a week or so, which is the new this year's version of the Invictus Games, which is now on the back of Heart of Invictus, his Netflix series, trying to capitalize and get more people interested in this series. But as this was reported on the Times, which I refuse to pay, sorry guys, but there, I've paused it enough to right here's the information there. You can pause it there. But Deadline sums it up pretty much in saying that, yes, Harry will give a speech at the closing ceremony on September 16th. That's when this is, where Markle will host a segment demonstrating the servicemen's courage and resilience. And now, Steph, I know you weren't happy about this. We're going to hear a rant from her in a minute, of course, of why is Meghan there? This isn't her event. This doesn't make any sense. Maybe get someone who's actually the wife of an actual veteran that's had to deal with it. Meghan showed up far after his service, etc. But all that said, Meghan was supposed to appear. This was all over the press. Well, this tweet I saw, thanks to the royal expert, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, thank you, sent this over, and I was like, is this real? And sure enough, as I went to check it out, it is real. This is from the Invictus Games schedule. It's kind of hard to find, but we found it. And here it is, the detailed schedule for the closing ceremony. Now, remember that event, Steph, that she was supposed to cover? We'll host a segment demonstrating. Well, to confirm that was real, here we are on the Invictus Game website, which Steph found this portion. Under the distinguished patronage of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and with the esteemed presence of Meghan Markle. Jesus. The esteemed presence. Downplay. She will be in the building, guys. The Duchess of Sussex. The closing ceremony is poised to be a historic celebration of strength and determination. But then it goes in further, at least it did. The Duchess of Sussex herself will take the stage to host the poignant Life Story Scene segment, providing an intimate and moving glimpse into the extraordinary journeys of the Invictus Games competitors. Their stories of courage, resilience, and unwavering support from their loved ones will serve as testament to profound effect the games have on transforming lives. So there it is, right? This is from the site itself, Steph, that she will be hosting the Life Story segment at the closing events. However, the schedule has been adjusted. The life stories with 2 participants will now be moderated, i.e. hosted, by Hadnet Tesfall, who is a German personality out there. What's going on? So now look, we might still be bestowed with the esteemed presence of Meghan Markle, Steph. It's undetermined what's real here on this website. But I find it odd that now the detailed schedule of the closing ceremony has removed the esteemed Duchess, right, and her presence from the schedule. This gives me pause. Have they fired her from her segment, Steph? What do you think about this?
No. If they had, it would be all over the news. And the bit that I found wouldn't be in there, because the bit that I found is actually for the press. It's like notes for the press. It doesn't make sense for the Invictus Games to quote unquote fire Megxie from doing this segment that was only announced I think a week or so ago that she was doing anyway. Why? Because then it defeats the purpose even further of the spotlight being on the wounded veterans that are participating in the games. It would make it even more the Hazza and Megxie show, but then it would turn into a circus, because it would then follow through with, okay, well, Megxie's being fired. When is Hazza next? So, like I said, it doesn't make sense for them to fire Megxi from a PR perspective standpoint.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
her role has been reduced
it does
for
make
the
sense
closing
given the
ceremony.
backlash. Doesn't the backlash make it make sense though? A lot of people are annoyed. We've seen a lot of reactions from these people saying this is wah, they're making about himself. This is supposed to be about the veterans. Isn't this exactly what you were saying last video? Like you don't want her there. Maybe they're starting to see it and realizing. And also I would challenge, this is a press release that was said a while ago. This is the first thing that would have been put out there. And this is easily something they may have already put at the beginning, right? When they announced it all. And now things have changed. If they were to change this, it's going to be even more noticeable until the moment itself. This is something easier to sort of quickly adjust. So when people look at the schedule page, they're actually seeing what the schedule now is. So I disagree. Just because it's not on that first page doesn't mean that they haven't. I mean, we have conflicting schedules now, right? Which one's right?
Yeah, right. And let me be 100 here. No, I don't think she should be there. I don't think she should have anything to do with the Invictus Games whatsoever, for obvious freaking reasons, right? But if you're to look at it from a logical, as I would put it, Draxian perspective, said it doesn't make sense so late in the game now to quote unquote fire her, because that's going to put even more negative headlines on the Invictus Games and make it even more about the Hazard and Megxi show when it shouldn't be. If
Which is
anything,
what they do.
yeah. If anything, Angela Levin, in an interview, and I reported on this on my channel, had turned around and said that for the 2024-2025 next Invictus Games, which is going to be in Canada, that there's already talks of not wanting Hazard and Megxi involved. And if they are, they don't want the games to happen at all. Because again, they're making it all about them rather than the wounded veterans. So to me, it would make more sense logically that it's too far gone now for Dusseldorf. They're both going to be involved. But for Canada, there's still time for less involvement from the gruesome twosome.
I just still can't get over the esteemed presence of Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. Like, how full of yourself can you be? Because you know they have every. This isn't even written by somebody else. Like this is their games. Like they're all over it. Their PR people are over it. And she allowed this to be written. The esteemed presence of Meghan Markle. But again,
literally, I mean, we all know that she has a thing, an emphasis on titles, right? As Samantha had confirmed in the Markle family interview a few months back, she turned around and she said to her family, I've met a prince. No, I've met someone, I've met a wonderful man, I've met a wonderful boyfriend who's this. No, I've met a prince. Also, as well, in the Heart of Invictus series that's just come out in episode 5, when they chronicle the closing ceremony from last year, Harry, right at the beginning of the series, introduces himself as just Harry, right? But in the closing ceremony, when Megsy's up on the stage introducing him, she's like, my husband, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Like, yeah, she's got a hard on for titles because it makes her feel more special and
more esteemed,
like more important and more esteemed, you know?
I hope one day we get to be in
the same way as everyone else. Come on.
I hope one day you get to be in the esteemed presence of Meghan Markle, Steph. That would make my whole day.
No. Should be the other way around. Megxi hopes one day to be in the esteemed presence of me.
Look, and at the end of the day, like this is the problem that she's created, right? And that's why I hate this eternal victim that she always is out there. Both of them, the eternal crying, leave us alone. They've created this problem. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. You shouldn't have been there. It's not about you. This is Harry's event. And I understand if you want to be there in the crowd supporting your man and you're going, that's great. Love that. Go support your man in his big event and you're there clapping. But to put yourself in as a host is weird. Now, if this was like last minute because the host's sick and it's like, okay, Meghan was nice enough to step in, I would have allowed that too. You know what I mean, Steph? Like some sort of version where she's helping, where she wasn't supposed to be, and she's just being the helpful partner. But to the esteemed presence of her being there, it's part of the thing. And then hosting a whole part of it, it's unnecessary. This other person clearly should be the host. And it looks like she might be. And I don't know, Steph, maybe we'll see a lot more people. Maybe we broke this. Well, we got to give props to this again, Banana Hammock for the lead, because this is where it was. And this got a lot of views. This was a lot of views last night as this was coming in. So props there. And as we went, and I saw this conflicting report on the website. I don't know what to believe. Audience, what do you think? Tell us down in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts as well. Smash the thumbs up and let us know what you think. Do you think she's going to get fired? Do you think she's realizing this is a bad look? I got to get out of this. I want to know what you think. Make sure you also subscribe to Steph the Alter Nerd over there on the YouTubes. And if you haven't already, watch our full debunking of the Heart of Invictus, which we just wrapped up live, or maybe you just came from there. Either way, support all of our channels. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet.